Hi everybody, Erica Corinne here, and I'm back finally. Sorry that it's been so long with a new nail art video. I love Halloween. It is my favorite holiday that I had to do at least one nail art video that I do these Halloween nails every year. They're pretty simple. You don't need very many tools. You can use other substitutes for the tools that I use. And I haven't done a nail art video lately because of my cuticles and my job, if you see any of my conversation videos. But I'm having a pretty good cuticle day today, so I thought I'd film this. These are my vampire nails. And I say they're simple because you're only doing semi-detailed work on one nail on each hand. This hand is a little bit sloppy because it's my non-predominant hand. But if you want to see how I do this, please stay tuned and thanks for watching. For this video, I'm using acrylic paint again, and I'm using black, red, and white. You also need some dotting tools. I just grabbed a couple of these because they're small and really small. A couple different paintbrushes. I grabbed a striping paintbrush and this really fine tip paintbrush, and I just use a piece of cheapy tab paper. You can use like plastic plate or a plastic lid to dab my paint onto. Okay, I've already started with my base coat, which is a light gray, and I've done a top coat on. That is necessary when you're using acrylic paint, so that if you make a mistake, that's when the Q-tip comes in and you can kind of just scrape it off and to correct it. That will only work if you're using a clear base coat. So I'm going to start off with doing my vampire's head, which I'm going to put on my pointer finger. So I take a striping brush and I start with like drawing partial of the peak of his hairline. And then I come down on the edge. I like using paint for detailed work. Well, this isn't extremely detailed, but it does dry faster, and it's easy to correct if you need it to. I did not do that peak in the middle of my nail. I'm not going to take it all off. I'm just going to take the peak part mainly. Let's see if we can make that more centered. Which, yes, like everybody that does nails says, this is semi-difficult to do on camera. I'm not used to holding your hand and having to make sure people can see it at the same time. There, that's more centered. Just trying to make the peak a little more predominant. I think I'm shaking the camera. Then just fill in all his hair. While we have the black out, I am going, or the black on. Now, while we have the black on a striping brush, I'm going to make, sorry, this is going to be a tiny bit upside down. I'm going to make a straight line for his mouth. Oh, it's fine. I think I will make him look like he's smirking, which could very much work. And while the black paint we have out, we're going to do 2 dots on all the other nails, which is what makes this nail design super easy and quick, because you're only doing detailed work on one nail. Okay, with his eyes, I like to take a little red. I did go grab a bigger dotting tool. And I start his eyes with the background with some red, so they, when we finish, they look a little bloodshot. And then we have to let that dry. While we're letting that dry, we can take our very small dotting tool, and if you want, which I usually just do it on like a couple, you can add little blood drops. So set the dotting tool on it and then just drag down a little bit so it's not like a perfect circle. And you can make it look like it's like dripping down. Now we have some blood drips. So while you're finishing, waiting for the red part of the eyes to finish drying, get a little bit of white. Oh, that's a little way too much white. And you have a couple different ways you can do. I'm going to now do his teeth. You can use a dotting or a striping brush with just a little bit on the tip of the brush and try to draw 2 little triangles, which I can never get them 100%. As long as they look like fangs. So that's pretty much as great as I'm probably going to get them. If I do too much more, I might just mess them up. So I like to add a little, another little on one of them, a little tiny bit of blood, well, red paint. Okay, so the middle of the eyes look like they're pretty dry. The acrylic paints go matte when they're dry. If you can tell from, if it will focus, how the teeth look a tiny bit glossy and how the hair and the eyes look matte. That's another way to tell that it's dried. I'm going to take some more of the white with my smaller dotting tool. Just get a little bit on there and put the whites of the eyes. So now that that white is finished, I have this really now that the white is dry on the eyes, I have this really small, it's not quite a dotting tool, but it came with my dotting tools. It's like it's a point. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that tool, dip it in a little bit of black to add the pupils. Oh. I got a little bit bigger than that. Looks a little cross-eyed, but that's my shaky hands. There is my vampire. Super simple, kind of cartoony. Okay, last step. Now that once all your paint is dry, and you do want to make sure it's dry, you add a thick top coat. Something fast drying I like to use so that you're not sitting around waiting for your nails to dry after you used paint. The paint, for me, one of the perks of the paint is that it dries fast. Try to do as few amount of strokes as possible, especially on a nail that has a lot of paint on it. That way you are not, sorry, for some reason I have a lot of bubbles in my top coat. And then I just messed it up. So you do as few amount of strokes so that you're not gonna re-wet the paint and make it streak. Guys, there you have it. Some pretty quick, simple nail art. You just need the tools. What you can do, before I got tools, I used cut down regular paintbrushes that I got at like Target or Michael's, and I shaped them, and toothpicks for my dotting tools. You can use so many other things if you don't have striping brushes or dotting tools. You can use so many other things to achieve this too. Just know every year they come out a little different. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your patience of me not having one up recently. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.